Hello, Sterling, Miss I here, and I am going to be going over the scheduling process for the upcoming school year. At this point, what I would like is for your teachers to hand out the scheduling cards to you. Each grade has a different color, and on the top it is labeled with the grade that you will be next year. Okay, so 10th graders have a card for next year, 11th graders have a card, and our freshmen have a card for next year. So teachers, please pass that out. Students, as you get the card, I need you to fill in the information at the top of the card in case you lose it, misplace it, leave it behind, so we can definitely return it to you. I need your last name, your first name, your grade, as well as the due date. This is important. The due date, the day that these cards are due, is February 13th, 2018. So fill that in at the very top. I'll give you a few minutes. All right, so as we begin this process, I want to remind everyone that I need students to write on their cards in pencil. And I need teachers, if they are initializing an approval for an advanced class, to do it in pen. So students, please do all of your final writing of your course selections in pencil. Our topics to go over are graduation requirements, course guidebook, your available courses for the 2018-19 school year, the scheduling process, and the scheduling calendar. So let's begin by going over the 4 core subject graduation requirements. Every student has to take 4 credits of English. If you choose to take an advanced placement class or an honors class in English, you need the approval of an English teacher you have previously had. Every student needs to take 4 credits of math. Seniors have the option of taking a math-related credit class their senior year, but it is highly recommended for seniors that plan to go off to college to take an actual math class, as it will help you perform better on that math placement test when you get to college. If you choose to take an advanced placement class, you need the approval of a previous math teacher for that class. All students need to take 3 years of science credits. Our incoming freshmen will be taking Earth Science. It's a brand new course. The other students must have biochem and a third science of their choice. If you choose to take an advanced placement class, such as an AP Bio or an Honors or an AP Chem, you must have an approval from a teacher in the science department. Social Studies, there are 3 credits in that class that all students need, and they pretty much follow suit with your grade level. All freshmen in American History, all sophomores in World, and all juniors in Government and Econ. If you choose to take an advanced class, such as AP Psych or AP Government or AP US History, you need the approval of a teacher from the Social Studies department. So, on the previous slide, we went over the 14 core credits that are required for all students. On this slide, there are additional credits that students need. Every student needs to have PE and health, 1 credit of a VPA, 4.5 electives, 2 credits of a world language, and embedded in all of your coursework is the graduation requirement of an online learning experiment. When you add up 8.5 and 14 core credits, you get 22.5 credits needed for graduation. Now let's think about that. You have 4 years of high school. You take 6 credits per year, 4 years times 6 credits, that gives you up to 24 credits that you can earn by the end of your senior year. Some students will bring in credits from middle school, such as their Spanish 1 and algebra. Therefore, they can have up to 27 credits. There's many ways for students to earn their credits and stay on track for graduation. However, we still have students that struggle. The reason being is if you are an average high school student that starts with no credits as a freshman, there is very little wiggle room in the schedule if you fail a class. Take a look at this table. There are certain courses that freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors have to take, specifically in the core subject area. If you fall behind, it becomes more and more challenging to stay on track. As you can see, there is only 1.5 credits to make up a class if you don't pass them. That equates to 3 classes. By 3, I mean a total of 3 for your entire high school career. This is one of the reasons administrators, counselors, and teachers are monitoring student progress and encouraging them to take credit recovery courses as soon as possible. So ask yourself, are you on track to graduate? If not, you need to speak to your counselor as soon as possible about credit recovery and summer school. Our next topic of conversation is, how do you find out about all of the courses available at Warren Consolidated? There is an online course catalog available for students to view. You can find this catalog by going to the district website, click on the link for parent and student resources, and in the third box there is the option for high school course guide. Click on that and then you will get the PDF of the course catalog that is available for Sterling Heights High School students. To make it easier for you, we've created a scheduling card with information specific for students at Sterling Heights High School. Take a look at your scheduling card. The front page has information on career pathways and graduation requirements. As you can see on the bottom of that page, all students must have a minimum of 22.5 credits to graduate, and it is broken down by area, as I just covered in a previous slide. This is the card you will turn into your teacher. It is very important that you turn this card in, as this is your one opportunity to give input on which courses you select for next year. If a card is not turned in, your counselor will create a schedule for you. All students must have a full schedule. That means you must be enrolled in 6 credits for the entire year. Even if you are a senior and only need 3 of those classes to graduate. There is no part-time high school student. Everyone is a full-time student and they must take 6 classes. Now listen to the most important part here. You are selecting courses, not teachers. It does not matter what the teacher taught this year. They may not be teaching the same classes next year. So choose wisely. We do not change requests because the teacher you wanted is not teaching it. Period. No exceptions. There will be no changes to your schedule for this reason. And please don't forget to fill out the alternative courses, as many times there are scheduling conflicts and students don't get their first choice. As you can see, we need a plan B, a plan C, and sometimes even a plan D as the classes fill up quickly. Now, open up your card to page 2. This page contains the list of courses available at Sterling Heights High School by department. Each card is specifically created for each grade. That means certain classes are in the 9th grade card, certain on the 10th, certain on the 11th, and certain ones only on the 12th grade card. There are some classes that are available to all students though. Next to each course is a course number code, starting with the letters HS followed by numbers. This course number identifies the course in the computer. Please make sure when you fill out your table you have the proper course and name that matches it. Every student is to select a math and English class for all 4 years. 9th, 10th, and 11th grade students are to make sure they have a science and a social studies. All of you must have electives, and please don't forget your alternative classes as well. Students will notice that there are a few new courses on the card. That is correct. We now have new electives for students to choose from, such as Creative Writing 1 and 2, Public Speaking, Sports Officiating, and Cybersecurity. To learn more about these courses, please look them up in the course catalog online. I will also want to bring your attention to the key in the lower right corner of page 2. This key will help you identify specific types of classes, if they are accelerated, if they are advanced or honors, and specific details about the class, if they are special ed or ELL courses. I do want to say a few words about the leadership class on here. In the scheduling card, it goes by the name Governing Practices Leadership. This is the most popular course here at Sterling, but to get into leadership, there is an application process. These applications are available from the leadership teachers in room B19. You can pencil in leadership as an alternate only on your card. The teachers that run the program will give us the list of students that have formally gotten into the class, and we will add it to your schedule then. However, if you are interested in leadership and plan on filling in that application, let your counselor know so that they can make note of it. If you are a 10th, 11th, or 12th grader next year, you will notice that your scheduling card has a 3rd page of courses for you to choose from. These are the career tech courses available at CPC and Cuzno. On the 10th grade card, there's very limited selections as there are only a few spots available to 10th graders, and the selections grow as you go to 11th and 12th grade. 10th graders will be going to tour CPC next week. Keep in mind, if you choose to take a CPC class, you do not have a choice on which block you are assigned to. Those classes are 2-hour blocks. They run hours 1 and 2, which is A block, hours 3 and 4, which is B block, and hours 5 and 6, which is C block. Please refer to the course catalog or speak to your counselor if you have questions about these courses. Now, Let's take a moment to talk about advanced courses. There is a new requirement to the scheduling process where if students choose to take an accelerated AP or honors class, they must have the signature of a teacher from that department. This is to ensure that students are properly placed, and who better to judge your academic effort than the teacher you have already had. These are classes that are labeled as accelerated AP or honors. They have the symbol of an arrow pointing up or a pound key. I want to remind students that these classes are to be chosen wisely. Take into consideration the course load of all of your classes that you are selecting, as well as your extracurricular activities and the commitment level for the whole year. These classes will require more study time and effort to be successful. That doesn't mean it will be an easy A. Some students work hard to pass these classes with D's. Many times students who have a history of A's will find their first advanced placement class challenging and very difficult to earn that A. Also, many of these courses have summer work that is non-negotiable. We expect students in these programs to perform at an advanced level in terms of responsibility and effort. So think before you choose to take an advanced class. Are you up for the challenge? And just so everyone is aware, we do not remove students from advanced classes for any reason. So once you make the commitment to this type of class, there are no changes. By commitment, I mean once you have your one-on-one meetings with your counselor and gone over the cards, the schedule for next year is created. So do not find me in the fall to ask me to change it. There are no changes to advanced classes. Choose them wisely. I also want to inform you that not all advanced classes are the same. Some will require more study time in reading material at a higher level. It is very common for students in advanced classes to experience stress over the workload. Once again, I'm telling you that once you are in advanced classes, you are staying for the whole year. We will do what we can to offer you stress management techniques, study help ideas, and encourage students to seek out tutoring. But there will be no changes to your schedules because you overcommitted. You really need to think about your selection and be honest on the level of commitment you are willing to give a class. Finally, I want to make sure everyone understands the purpose of taking an AP class. It is to take the AP test to earn college credit. Do not take these classes for honor points to bump up your GPA, because the exact opposite may occur if you've taken on too much of a challenge. Our expectation at Sterling is that when you sign up for an AP class, you are studying and preparing for the College Board exam in May. Once again, I keep saying this, but it's very important. Choose these classes wisely. Now flip to the last page of your scheduling card. This whole page must be filled out. Please print neatly and use a pencil. Make sure your name, email, and phone number are on the top. Fill in every box of the scheduling table, as well as the alternate boxes that are given to you. If you have selected an advanced course, do not forget the teacher's initial from a teacher within that department. Read the small print where it describes the commitment for advanced classes and that there is no removal from these courses. Also, the print on CPC selection that you do not have a choice on which block you are assigned to. Cards are to be returned to the following teachers. 9th grade students, you are to return your card to your American history teacher. 10th grade students, return your card to the world history teacher. 11th grade student, return your cards to the English 11 teacher. If you don't have any of these courses, you can drop the card off at East Center to your counselor. This is an example of the information needed in the scheduling table. Include the course numbers and the name of the course that matches those numbers. Fill in all spots. Remember, this is your opportunity to give us info on classes that you are interested in taking next year. Print as neatly as possible and use a pencil. Here is an image of what a completed card looks like. I highlighted key information that you need to double check that is filled out. Your name, course number, course name, teacher initials for advanced classes, parent signature, and student signature. Make sure you have as much information on your card as possible when you turn it in. Now, Some of you might be asking, why do you need this much info? The reason being is that not all of the courses that you request will be available. Students may not get requests for two main reasons. That class is scheduled at the same time as another course, so there is a conflict, or the elective that you are requesting is not going to run because not enough students have signed up for it. Therefore, students have to have alternates to take their place. Now, when we fix the schedule, we only do it for 3 reasons. Those reasons are, you are missing a class that you need to graduate. This is specific to seniors. Reason number 2, you do not have a full schedule. As I said, all students need to have 6 classes. And sometimes we're missing 1 or 2, and we will fix it then. The third and final reason, if you have a class on your schedule that you have already taken, then we will remove it and give you a new class. So it is very important that you put as much info on this card as possible. And I want to remind you that if you don't turn in a card, your counselors will create a schedule for you, and you will have no say in classes for next year. So turn that card in. I know I have mentioned this numerous times, but I want to make sure students understand me fully. You cannot change your mind about a class. We do not select classes because we want a certain teacher or because we want to be in a class with our friends. Choose wisely, because every single student that comes to ask me for a schedule change will get the same answer, and that is no. And it's not because I want to be mean, it's because there is a lot involved in creating the schedule for next year. Months and months of hard work go into it by the counselors and myself. Teachers receive their teaching schedules next year based on what you are deciding right now. There are limited spots in classes, and the master schedule is designed to meet the needs of 1,500 students, not just you. So choose wisely, and remember my answer to schedule changes will always be no. On to our next topic. When do we begin the scheduling process? Students should have their scheduling cards by the first week of February. In fact, you should have it in your hands right now as you are viewing this video. You will return them to the same teacher that handed them out to you. 9th graders, that's your American history. 10th graders, that's your world. Juniors, it goes to your English 11. If you do not have these classes, turn the card into your scheduling counselor. If you are viewing this video on our website and will be an incoming freshman next year, our counselors are visiting all feeder middle schools during the first week of February to go over the scheduling process with 8th graders. See your middle school counselor if you missed that meeting. Counselors will start one-on-one meetings with students at Sterling at the end of February throughout the month of March. We will be starting with the 11th graders first, then the 10th, and finally the 9th graders. You and your parents should do the best you can to fill out the card before the February 13th deadline. If you want information about a class, look it up on the course catalog online or talk to a teacher from that department, and don't forget to get teacher initials for those advanced classes. Scheduling season is a very hectic time for counselors as they are out of the building visiting our incoming 8th graders from the middle school, attending 10th grade tours at CPC, and juggling the daily hustle of the counseling department. So please, do not come in to see your counselor on how to fill out your scheduling card. That must be done by you and your parents. Your counselors have set time aside to meet with each student during the one-on-one meetings, which will begin in February all the way to March. So do the best that you can, turn it in on time, and be patient. Your counselors will get to you during your designated time. These one-on-one meetings will occur in the Media Center. Your teachers have been assigned a specific date and time to bring your class down to the Media Center. While you are in the center, you will be working on the Career Cruiser online program. Counselors at the same time will be calling students up for one-on-one meetings to go over the scheduling card. It is during that time that this will be your last opportunity to get input into the courses that you want for next year. If you miss this meeting, you must see your counselor. So be prepared to ask questions and make commitments to next year's courses. I have mentioned this earlier in the presentation, but I want to make sure students understand the seriousness of failing a course. There are many reasons you cannot retake a course you failed, such as that course may not be running next year. There is a scheduling conflict that you are not allowed to take it at the same time as another course, or there is no room in that course for a repeating student. This is why it is very important to speak to your counselors about credit recovery immediately. There are two options that are recommended: online credit recovery that runs here at Sterling, as well as summer school that runs at one of the high schools within the district. Both options cost money. If you failed a class, be prepared to talk to your counselor about these options. Do not wait to deal with this problem later. You don't want to be a junior that has no option but to transfer to an alternative program to graduate on time. So stay on track, and if you have an issue, do what you can to get back on track by taking credit recovery courses immediately. If this is you, please see your counselor as soon as possible and figure out a plan to make up these credits. All right, so let's recap what we just covered. A lot of information was within this presentation. It will be posted on the school's counseling department website so students and parents can view it over again in case you missed something. I want to remind everyone about the key points. You need 22.5 credits to graduate, 14 of which are from the specific course subjects, so it's very important you stay on track. The district course catalog is available on the district website. Every student was given a scheduling card specific to the grade level they will be entering next year. Cards that are to be filled out in pencil. Write as neatly as possible and make sure all required signatures and initials are on the card to be turned in by February 13th. Ninth graders, those cards go to your American history. 10th, your world history. And 11th, your English 11 teachers. We will start the process at the end of February, and the goal is to be done meeting with all students by the end of March. Students, please wait till your one-on-one meeting with your counselors. It is very, and I mean very important that you think about the courses you select, as there will be no schedule changes after the fact because you changed your mind. Choose a course because you're interested in it, not because of the teacher or your friends that are also going to take it. And finally, if you are not on track to graduate or failed a class this year, you need to see your counselor to come up with a plan, such as credit recovery or summer school. There may not be room in next year's schedule for you to make that class up, so make that appointment to see your counselor. As you view the video in your classes, your teachers will help you through the process. As we wrap this up, I want to wish you guys all good luck and choose your classes wisely. Remember that due date, February 13th.